What's up, everyone? You're in the right place if you love fantasy football. I'm Waiver Wire Queen, and today is going to be a great day. This is part one of a part two video, and where I share my top 20 players in fantasy football. Today, I'm going to give you players 11 through 20, and we're going to start from 20, work our way down to 11, and y'all let me know what you think. All right, number 20, I got DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is a beast. We're going to see more of DK Metcalf this year, obviously. He is Wilson's favorite target. Number 19, I got Justin Jefferson. Let's not get it twisted. Thielen gets all the touchdowns, but Jefferson gets all of the yards. He's working his way to the number one wide receiver out there on the Vikings. If they throw him a few more touchdowns, Kurt, get him the ball in the end zone. All right, number 18, I got Najee Harris, and Najee Harris is a rookie. They're going to get him the ball a whole lot out there in Pittsburgh. So look for him to be a workhorse, okay? Looking for a top running back? Definitely look at Najee Harris. He's going to be a workhorse this year, y'all. You know how they do out there in the Steelers. Number 17, I got Jonathan Taylor. I don't care if Mack is back, Hines is the PPR back, but guess what? Taylor is the lead back. Best believe he's the lead back. All right, number 16, I have my favorite, DeAndre Hopkins. Definitely my favorite wide receiver, and he did nothing but dominate out there in Arizona, and you're going to see more of that this year. All right, number 15, I have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon. Can't say enough about Joe Mixon. Last year, injuries, disastrous season, but this season he's going to come back. He's going to be healthy. They got a whole bunch of weapons out there. Offensive line is not the greatest, one of the worst, but guess what? Joe Mixon is going to come back, and he's going to probably be comeback player of the year. Okay, after last year, he can't do nothing but trend up. All right, and check out for him. You know, people sleep on Joe Mixon a lot, but he has been a solid running back since he's gotten into the NFL, and I expect to see that this year, especially with a nice, young, dynamic quarterback in Joe Burrow. So, what do? If you got a chance to pick up Joe Mixon in a draft, you draft him, all right? That's what you do. Number 14, I have Calvin Ridley, and Calvin Ridley is, in my book, one of the top 5 wide receivers in fantasy. He is going to be Matt Ryan's number 1 target. Last year, Julio in and out with some injuries. Julio is no longer there. Ridley is the top dog. And last year, he showed you that he can be the top lead wide receiver on the Falcons. So if you have a chance to snatch Ridley up and he's your wide receiver 1, there's nothing wrong with that. He can be your first guy off the board at wide receiver because he's definitely that dude, okay? Number 13, Austin Eckler. He's one of my favorite running backs in PPR leagues. He's gonna get about 10, maybe 13 carries a game, but where he's gonna be dominant is in the passing game. They get him the ball in the passing game, and he's gonna make magic there. Definitely a really good option in PPR leagues. So check for him. And then, you know, they got my boy Justin Herbert out there. So young, good quarterback to go along with a really good PPR running back. Those two together, you make magic. All right. Number 12, I got Ezekiel Elliott. All right. I got Ezekiel Elliott here because, yeah, he used to be ranked in the top 5, but the last 2 seasons haven't been that great. Last year was disastrous. He was fumbling the ball over the field. It was just disastrous. Offensive line, aging, injuries. But Ezekiel Elliott is trimmed down. He's been working hard, putting in that work, and when you put in that work, you get in Waiver Wire Queen's top 20 list. And I expect Elliott to be back to his old self, even though I believe they're going to throw the ball more and they'll probably get Pollard more involved. But guess what? Ezekiel Elliott is still his backfield, and as long as he's not out there fumbling the ball, he's going to cook up, and he's going to eat, and do the damn thing for the Cowboys this year. So when you draft him, you draft him with confidence, because he's another player who can be considered for comeback player of the year, because after last year, he can't do nothing but trend up in the right direction. I mean, it can't get no worse than last year for Elliott. So check for Elliott. And number 11, I got my favorite, Saquon Barkley. Now with Saquon, injuries the last 2 seasons, never played a full season, and there are some doubts, obviously, because it's all health related. But when Saquon Barkley is on the field, he is definitely a top 3 running back in the NFL. And I will say the best running back in the NFC East. So what do? You're taking a chance on Saquon. High risk, high reward. He's not going to go in the top 3, obviously, because if you do that, then you're crazy. But he still has been drafted in the top 5, top 7. So if you take a chance on him, you got to be realistic and understand that he may not be there week 1, but that does not mean he's still not a great running back and in the top 20 on my list, because like I said, when on that field, when he is healthy, he is top 3. So when you draft him, you got to be realistic about your expectations on what he can do for you. But no, once he is at full force and on that field, and Giants have an improved offensive line, more offensive weapons, guess what? He's gonna perform like the Saquon Barkley of 2018. Those first 2 seasons where he was jumping over players and dominant. And he's going to be dominant in both aspects, rushing and receiving. So when he's back, he's definitely going to be good for PPR and standard. So when you're thinking about Saquon, make sure you have certain expectations and realize that, start the season and maybe be a bit slow. But guess what? We don't care, because it's Saquon Barkley. Go Giants, go Giants. All right, y'all hit that like button and let me know what you think of my top. This is from 11 to 20. These 10 guys. And then in part 2, I will give you my top 10. Subscribe to Waiver Wire Queen for more. Leave some comments and I will comment back. And leave your 11 to 20. Leave 11 to 20 and let me know what you think. This is not the top 10, but for this video, what y'all think of these 10 guys. Peace.